It's a Teen Talk Skating podcast where I embarrass myself. Hello, and welcome to episode number 48 of A Teen Has a Stomach Ache. I'm kidding. It's a Teen Talk Skating podcast with me. My name is Van Gogh, and I actually do have a stomach ache right now, but I am still recording an episode. Look how dedicated I am to this podcast. I hope your week has been going very, very well. I have to say, this is the last episode of the Teen Talk Skating in the year 2024. So I hope you all have had or are having, I guess, a great holiday season. And don't worry because there will be plenty of episodes in the year of 2025. So don't worry about that. If you're worried that I'm gonna disappear after the new year, no, I'm not. Thank you for all of your support. Lots of new viewers recently, which is always great. Welcome to my life. Welcome to this crazy thing. Um, but yes, I hope you all are excited for the new year of 2025. Um, but yeah, the last episode of this year, of course, this is the year I started the podcast, so it's very exciting that we're getting to New Year and we're almost at like the 1 year anniversary, obviously. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. I have literally like been binge watching this one series. Um, it's so good. Have you ever watched a TV show that's just like no, like your feelings are like feeling, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's my life, and I've been doing whatever. I've been like literally doing nothing because I really need a break after everything that happened at school and whatnot. But yeah, let us go. Let us go. Let us go. Let us go. Let's go over to the program of the week. Yay! It's a good one. It's a good one. Program of the week. Okay, so for your program of the week this week, I chose a program that I just think is like stunning, like it's just stunning. Like you can't do any better than this. At this point, you can't. You know what I mean? And that is Mai Mihara and her short program at the 2023 World University Games to Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. And I definitely did not choose this program just because it's called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, and obviously Christmas was on Wednesday. But I chose this program because it's beautiful, not just as a Christmas thing, but this program is just like dang, Mai Mihara, dang for hitting me in the feelings, you know what I mean? Like this one hit me hard. But this program is insanely beautiful, and it's not even has to do with kind of the elements and more has to do with the different nuances. I always say this. That is something I really tend to appreciate in a lot of figure skating programs is not so much the technical elements themselves, but more of the nuances, the transitions in between. And this program by Mai Mihara is obviously chock full of these. Even in like the beginning sequence of like, are we in pain? Are we sad? Like what's going on, Mai Mihara? It's this it has a certain like mystery to the emotion within it. It really captivates you, draws you in. And then in the jumping pass as well, when she does her triple flip, she kind of flourishes at the very end. She has that such deep knee bend, and she also does the same exact thing on her triple lutz, triple toe. And then the second change for combination spin is so beautiful because it's right on the music. It's the spin changes positions as the music changes speed or tempo, and it's kind of those nuances that you don't really take in with other programs. Like, oh, it's right on the music. You really appreciate it. It really does feel like the skater and the music are together, whereas sometimes other programs the skater goes above the music, or the music will go above the skater. But here, what you see with Miami Heart is a really beautiful marriage of those, the music and the movement, I would say. There's a beautiful split jump at the very end, right before the last spin. And then just it just feels right. And at the dress as well, I really love like kind of the grayish bluish color that she has going on in there. And it's Mai Mihara, right? It's Mai Mihara. We all know, we all love Mai Mihara. Like, how can you not love Mai Mihara? And I just think it's just so graceful and it's just so impactful that I just really enjoy it. and I think you would too if you went to watch it. So please go check it out. Mai Mihara, her short program of the 2023 World University Games. Go check it out. It's a beautiful program. You will not regret it. But now it is time for your main episode. Yay! That was your program of the week. Okay, so last week we had a nice little break with me ranting for like 45 minutes. Break from the competitions, right? We had so many competitions going on. This is like over and over and over again. Just like so many Grand Prix, I could not breathe. But now we actually have another competition related episode, but it isn't really international competitions because we are going to be talking about all the major national competitions that have occurred so far this season. Um, and what that the competitions that are like the nationals for each individual country. So many European countries have done theirs. France has done it. Italy has done it. The UK has done it. And also we'll also be talking about in Asia, in Japan, and also as well as China. Um, and so these competitions, they aren't worlds, they aren't Grand Prix finals, they aren't worlds, right? But it really does determine who is the best in their individual country, and that is really important to take in considering, who's going to be selected for worlds or Europeans or for continents, and that will obviously factor in with especially worlds getting Olympic spots, and even without the pressure for getting selected for championship competitions, nationals are that opportunity to show, who's the best in each country, who's the main player in each country. Um, because some countries, like we'll see Japan obviously later, are incredibly competitive within domestically. They're incredibly competitive, and it really just show you, who is really the top, who's the most consistent, who is the most artistic, who is really going to be the trailblazer, the trendsetter for their country. And so this is why these competitions are really important to pay attention to, even though they might not be international, they might not be all the best in the world. Why did I actually sound so like professional in that monologue? Just saying. But there will be a separate episode for other nationals that are still gonna come. Obviously, not every country has done their nationals yet. So I will definitely do a separate episode for US nationals because I feel that is another big event. I live in the US, so I'm able to watch all of it, etc. So I definitely will do an episode on US nationals just by itself, covering it by itself. So don't worry. Obviously, other countries like Canada also haven't done theirs. Don't worry, I will get to them. I will get to it. South Korea also hasn't done theirs. So I will cover all of it in the future, just not now. So this is like the first half of the nationals, and in a few episodes we'll discuss the second half. And also, I want to say that there's, the whole world, obviously, the nationals happens in pretty much every country. There have been a lot of nationals. I won't have time to discuss each individual country. Just the countries with the very top skaters, or they're very notable for their international results or anything like that. And so, please go watch the other nationals. I won't mention. There's going to be like 20 countries that I probably don't have the time to mention, but please feel free for free. Feel free to go check them out as well. Okay, now without further ado, our first nationals that we are going to talk about is Great Britain. That happened back in November and last month. Actually, exactly last month. Wow, how much fun! In the men's event, we have Edward Appleby. I feel like I have to mention Edward Appleby because I feel like figure skating community wise has like adopted Edward Appleby as like I forgot what they call him, the good young man, because I think Ted Barton called him like a good young man, a young lad or something. And so I feel like obligated to mention Edward Appleby, who I actually think is a very fun skater. His disco program last season was also so much fun. And Edward Appleby is a skater from Great Britain. He is Great Britain's top leading man right now. In terms of his elements here at this competition, he was clean in all of his programs. The free skate, he did pop one triple flip into a double flip. So obviously a bit unfortunate there. In the free, he did get very, very good triple axles done. The short, he did not attempt a triple axle. He just did a double. I'm not sure if that was a pop or not. But obviously, I think, Great Britain hasn't had a huge, huge men's skater for, quite some time. I feel like Edward Appleby I really do enjoy his skating. I have to say, I like his skating. I think he's a fun skater to watch, and so I really hope that he gets maybe some quads trained, and so he can become even more competitive, and bring Great Britain that men's skater that they haven't had in some time. Okay, for the women's event here in the women's event, in second place here we had Nina Povey, who this was maybe a bit of a surprising result for me because Nina Povey, she had a really good season, especially last season. At the later half of last season, she went to Europeans. She also went to Worlds. She didn't qualify to the free skate at Worlds, but she was still very consistent and she still stayed very. I think she stayed quite good in her programs. Here, she just had some struggles, especially in the free skate here from Nina Povey. She, the first half of the program went pretty well. She did fall on a triple loop and then made some other popping errors, unfortunately, and a spin error. And so that did unfortunately bring her score down. But I really do think Nina Povey is another skater who maybe last season was, like, kind of a fluke, but I'm hoping it wasn't, and so Great Britain obviously needing doesn't how do you say? Great Britain obviously wants an Olympic spot for the women's event. They all wanna all every I don't know what I'm talking about. But I really do hope Nia Povey can become more competitive because I did like seeing her last season. In first place in the women's event here at British Nationals, however, we had Kristen Spores, who is a name I haven't seen in a while, but she seems to be having a really good season. Here she did a really clean free skate, and the short she just popped one jump. But amazing season, amazing skate here. Good GOE on her elements from Kristen Spores here. From what I see, she has her world's minimum, she has her Europeans minimums. I'm pretty sure it's likely we're gonna see Kristen Spores at Europeans and at Worlds. We'll see if she can earn an Olympic spot for the British women here. Or at the Olympics, and that will be very competitive between her and Nina Povey if they can only get one spot. Okay. And then in the ice dance event, what I want to talk about is Fear and Gibson, obviously, who won by a very large margin. I'm sure a lot of people would say overscored, probably because it's a nationals event and like every nationals was pretty overscored. But yeah, Fear and Gibson won, easy, easy peasy, lemon squeezy here. Um, I just think Fear and Gibson are gonna be very, very interesting to watch at Europeans. Are they gonna take the gold? I think that's been the biggest question mark this whole season for ice dance is Fear and Gibson because I'm just like, is Fear and Gibson gonna get gold? Are they gonna get silver? It's like kind of crazy what's going on with Fear and Gibson at this point because I feel like they're so like they're all over the place for me, and I'm just like, I don't know, they're the biggest enigma for me in the ice dance event this season, and I'll be very interesting to see what they will do at Europeans and what they will do at Worlds. Okay, so moving on to China. So that was British or Great Britain. Great for Great Britain, right? I make no sense. Okay, so for China, I want to talk specifically about the men's event here because I feel like the Chinese men are developing quite well in terms of the skaters that they do have. Now, in the men's event, Boyang Jin unfortunately withdrew, I believe, or he didn't. I believe he withdrew from the event, but I forgot why he withdrew. I hope it's not injury. But Boyang Jin, who has kind of been a staple of Chinese men's skating for the past few seasons, ever since probably 2016 was it when he won a world's medal? Like or was it 2017? I can't remember. But yeah, Boyington has been kind of a staple of Chinese men's skating for a really long time. Did not compete here, but two other skaters that have been really strong for China recently are Yudong Chen and Dai Wei Dai, who are bringing new names into Chinese men's skating. They both have quads, quad twos, I believe both of them have. Um, or Quad Sal for Yu Chen. And so it's really interesting, exciting, and interesting to see that Chinese men's skating is kind of having a more revival. It's not just Boy and Jin anymore, and Yu Chen, Dai Wei Dai are really big names that are bringing in new talent into the country because I feel like men's for China has very much been a strong discipline because of Boy and Jin for a long time, but it's great to see new names coming up as well. From the women's event here at Chinese Nationals, great result from these skaters that they competed at seniors nationally, but here internationally they are junior skaters, which is like great that they are, on the podium. The three like main senior women skaters here in China that they do have Shang Yi An, Yi Zhu, and Hong Yi Chen. They didn't have the best results here. Shang Yi An was fifth place here with a decent short and an okay free skate. But Chinese, what am I trying to say? Um, Especially with Shang Yi An, I feel like a lot of people saw her as like the new talent from China back when she was competing in juniors, and hasn't found that consistency yet. Yi Zhu, she went to the Olympics. Hong Yi Chen has not been to the Olympics, but a lot of people saw her as a big Olympic hopeful many seasons ago. I'm really hoping that you know those three women, considering they are the only Chinese women competing for senior, not the only, but the main ones, I guess, that went to Cup of China, went to four continents. I really do hope that they can gain a bit more consistency, because I do think they are good skaters. I do really like watching all of them skate. For them, okay. And then after China, we got to talk about Latvia, and you guys know who I'm literally here to talk about for Latvia. I'm literally only here to talk about one skater, actually more than one skater, but originally I was here to talk about one skater. So in the men's event, we had for second place, a very up and coming skater, Fidir Kulish, who I believe is. I think he's competing as a senior. Can he compete as a senior? Yeah, he can compete as a senior. Okay, he can compete as a senior. Vadir Kulish, who has a very interesting technical ability. He has the ability to do a quad lutz. He landed one cleanly in the free here at Latvian Nationals. He had a clean free skate actually, but technically he did really, really well. Program components wise is not his best score, but with having great technical ability is already a plus, obviously, and so developing the components would be the next thing. And I believe he will be going to Europeans, but not sure yet. But first place in the men's event, who, this is, I love, is Dennis Vasillas, who I really love. He did a quad sal in the short, and he actually did one with a double toe attached in the free. He did pop one in the free into a double sal cowsel, which is unfortunate, but the quads are getting a little more consistent for Dennis Vasillas. I know, like, this is my biggest worry with Dennis Vasillas. Like, most of the time, it's like, is he going to try the quads? Is he going to land the quads? Because, quad salka has not been his most consistent jump for, quite some time. So it's interesting that he's reincorporating it into his program after not attempting it earlier this season. In the free skate, he did fall on an unfortunate triple flip, but he still got first. I think components wise, Dennis Vasillas is one of the strongest skaters internationally in terms of the men. I'm super excited to see him at Europeans, what he can pull off there. I feel like he had a good skate at Skate America. Maybe not so much at Cup of China that he went to, but I feel like components wise, that's his like strong suit. If he can get the technical side, I would be so happy because Dennis Vasillas is my absolute favorite, and we all know that. But yeah, so yeah, both of Latvia's two men, very interesting stories, different stories, but very interesting results for both of them, and technical ability. Not second. What am I saying? In the women's event, we did have an interesting result. I think Sofia Stepchenko, who has been Latvia's top women for some seasons now, she did get second here. You know, not the best consistency in either for programs. She did have a fall on a quarter triple loop in the what am I saying? The fall on the quarter triple loop in the short, and then she had some popping errors in the free, it seems like. So not the best programs here for Sofia Tipchenko, but she has been Latvia's top women's skater for quite some time. First place from Latvia was Anastasia Konga, who just had cleaner programs than Sofia Stepchenko did. And she looks like she has some technical ability. Triple left looks pretty good. Um, so yeah, very interesting to see that happening as well. Moving on to another country in Europe. It just feels like Eurovision, doesn't it? It just feels like, okay, let's go to Great Britain, let's go to Latvia, let's go to Switzerland, who actually did win Eurovision this year. So good for them. In the men's event, we have Lucas Britsky, who, has Yeah, I just think that Lucas Britsky has been like one of the not he hasn't been the top men's skater for like this quad or anything, but he has really been like the main one who I feel like has pushed his name forward the most because during like the Olympic quad, I I feel like Lucas Britsky wasn't like a huge name that a lot of people like considered, a lot of people talked about. Oop, that's my pencil. You know, at Europeans, not at Europeans, at the Olympics in 2022, he had, you know, it was good to see him. It was good to see him his programs and everything. But like after that, it really changed. Everything started kind of changing for Lucas Brzezinski. He kind of like pumped up his skating almost. He's gotten a lot better at skating. It just feels like he's really pushed his name forward as the main one of the main European men to watch out for. Here at Swiss Nationals, he had a very you know, pretty easy victory. He had a clean short program and a relatively clean free to take the title. He did pop a triple axel into a single axle, but score wise, it wasn't, you know, super detrimental to him or anything. And I just feel like Lucas Brisky is on something this season. You know, not on something. That sounds bad. I feel like he's on to something. I feel like he's gonna get, you know, get what he wants this season. I love it. You know, we've had good results for him. You know, in the past, you know, were his Grand Prix the best? Not really, but like, I just feel like. I just feel like I don't know. I just think Lucas Brisky is a really strong skater. I think he's going to continue to deliver that well. Hopefully at Europeans he can put together two consistent performances. Last year the free skate at Europeans that he had just wasn't the best, didn't get him, you know, it wasn't the best performance from him. So I'm really hoping that at Europeans he can pull it together and maybe get onto the podium again. Who knows? So yeah, that was a men for Switzerland, but I think women's event for Switzerland is one of the most interesting things for me. I think like the women's event in Switzerland is like, whoa, like all of a sudden there's like so many names this season. Like, I don't know. My favorite one of my favorite skaters who I think is super underrated is Livia Kaiser, who was second here at Swiss Nationals. You know, I feel like, you know, we had her do super well at Europeans last season, and we had her have like a really big breakout performance at World as well. Um, Here in the short, she did fall on a triple Lutz, and then she did have two falls in the free on a triple Sal and then a triple Lutz. But, you know, no popping, which is good, but consistency wise, Olivia Kaiser hasn't been the best this season from what we've seen from her from Skate America. And then she also went to, I believe it was Grand Prix de France she was at, I believe. Just not the best, like, cleanliness that we've seen, but you know, I really do enjoy both of her programs, and I feel like components wise, she is one of the like I don't not top, but she's one of those skaters whose programs really draw me in. I think the choreography for both is like really well done. They contrast each other really well. I feel like Livia Kaiser is a name people should watch out for. It's a name I've watched out for since last season. I was like, oh, Livia Kaiser, huh? She's really good. But yeah, in first place at Swiss Nationals, we have Kimi Rippon, who was first here by a quite a large margin. She did have some quarter calls, no pops, but a very solid season so far for her. You know, I would say that Kimi Rippon is kind of like Lucas Britsky in the sense that, you know, this quad, she's really put her name forward as someone to watch out for. They both, you know, they both won European bronze medals in the same year. I don't know if that had something to do with it or something, but I just think that like I feel like, you know, she's really put her name forward and she's continually improving each season to me. In terms of like the way she skates and just the way she jumps. And I just feel like there's noticeable improvement in Kimi Rippon's skating that I really do appreciate. Good results at both her Grand Prix this season. I do wonder if she is going to be another person to look out for the European podium. You know, last season at Europeans, she didn't have the best performances. She was seventh there, but the season before she was third. It'll be quite interesting what will happen with Kimi Rippon. I feel like she's really had some big performances out there. I definitely think she can get those again. You know, we will definitely see. I think Europeans will be like more exciting than Worlds. I don't know why. I just feel like Europeans is gonna be like wow, like Europeans is gonna be like with the end to the end. I don't know. Europeans is gonna be quite a fun event to watch. That's my tiredness going on. Okay. Moving on to Switzerland, we have the country, from Switzerland, we have the country of four nationals. I'm kidding. Four nationals fun is a very fun competition concept wise. So four nationals is like the national championship for the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, and Slovakia. And so they put all of their, competitors together in one competition, and then they kind of split up the podium at the end. So like, I don't know, for the Czech Republic, the top three men in the Czech Republic might be like fifth and sixth and seventh in the overall standings at four nationals, but they split up the podiums. Super fun idea, super fun concept, great results there. And so, with here we have like mixed skaters from like mixed countries, but I will tell you who is from what country to make it a little clear. Okay. Okay. Trust me on this one. Okay, so the men's event in four nationals, we have in fourth place Lucas Vlakovic of Slovakia, who, if you don't follow juniors, you might not know, but Lucas Vlak, my gosh, I cannot say. I'm so sorry. Lucas Vlakovic from Slovakia has been really one of the top junior men this season. He qualified even to the Grand Prix, Junior Grand Prix final this season. Here, he doesn't have the best consistency wise, but he does have, when he does his jumps, he does get pretty good Joey on them. He got fourth here, third place free skate, however. Um, but yeah, really good result, and especially obviously an up and coming skater. Slovakia has been a really, really big country recently in terms of like how competitive their skaters are, which is really good. Um, and then from in third place from Poland, the Polish national champion now, we had Vladimir Samoilov, who was second in the short program. He landed a quad sal there, which is really good, but he did make errors on two of his other jumping passes. Fourth in the free, he did get a quad Lutz done and a quad Salchow done, which is, obviously really impressive that he has those two quads. Good GOE on both of them. Is he the cleanest skater out there? Not really. Um, I believe at Europeans, he was eighth at Europeans last year, and so, you know, perhaps there is potential to move into the top five, potentially the podium if he does get a little more clean in terms of his, you know, abilities here and there. He did win the Warsaw Cup early this season. He is kind of like a up and downish skater for me. I haven't seen too much of his skating, but I do think Vladimir Smoilov has potential to be on the European podium given the right conditions. In second place from the Czech Republic. I'm like, what country again? I always forget what country skaters from sometimes. I'm like, Japan? I don't know. But Georgy Rastenko from Czechia or the Czech Republic, who was fourth here in the short, second in the free with a pretty good skate, landed both of his quad toes, just made a spin error. Um, Again, another name from, maybe the Czech Republic isn't a skater, isn't a country that we hear a lot about or we see a lot about, but another up and coming name from the Czech Republic. We will obviously see him at Europeans as well. We'll see what he's able to do. I think this like this region, like Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia, maybe they haven't had like the top skaters of all time, but I think there's a lot of development happening in these countries, and I think that's what is important to look at. In first place here from Slovakia, the Slovakian national team, we have Adam Hagara, another skater who on the junior level has been doing quite good. He did really good here at foreign nationals. Really, really clean programs, really got that free skate, especially won him by over 17 points. So, really good. I'm sure he's hoping to make more of an impact on the senior level now. He's been on, junior level, he's been on the senior level, kind of switching between back and forth, doing both at the same time for some seasons now. I'm sure he's hoping to make an impact on the senior level as we look at Europeans coming up that he will probably be going to. In the past, he's had okay results on the senior level. He was 11th at Europeans last year. Um, And we will see definitely what will happen with him and how he develops as well, as we continue along. Okay, for the women's event, I think the one a lot of people want to talk about, Ekaterina Kurokova of Poland, who's just like one of my favorite skaters. Unfortunately, she was third. Just unfortunate skates in both of her programs. This season hasn't been the most consistent for Ekaterina Kurokova, but like I just enjoy her skating so much that like I almost don't care about it. I love how different she is. I love how unique she is. I love her smiling all the time. Like, are the jumps really like that important anymore to me? Not really. But I'm really hoping Ikarin Kurokova can have a better second half of the season, especially at Europeans. Hopefully she can redeem herself after not qualifying at the free last year. And I hope she can redeem herself at World as well. In second place from Slovakia, we have Emma Dovoslova. I'm very sorry if I said that name wrong. Who is kind of a newer name to me with two decent skates here. Really two different decent skates. They weren't the most technically difficult skates, but they were two very decent skates technically. And I'm hoping to see more of her, hopefully at Europeans and whatnot. And then also Slovakia in first place is Vanessa Samolkova, who also had some minor errors here and there. Rotation wise, she did struggle, but she was first in both programs and for first place overall. And Slovakia honestly doing so good. Slovakia really building a great figure skating program in men's with Adam Hagara and Lucas Vlakovic, and in women's here with both of the skaters as well. In pairs, we have only one pair that competed from Poland, Chiticina and Wozniak, who are continuing to have a good season. I feel like they're really growing this season from, getting the victory, I believe. Was it Warsaw Cup they were at? No, Golden Spin. They were at Golden Spin. They had a victory there. Really good result for them. They were pretty good at both of their Grand Prix. Like, it just feels like it's going to be good for them this season. Maybe Europeans will be a surprise. I don't know. For ice dance, we had close results for fourth to second. And fourth, we had Hungarian team Ignateva Zemko. And third, we had Slovakian team Pucharova and Lisak. And then we had both pairs of Czech siblings on the podium. In the second position, we had Mrazkova Mrazek. And then Tashlerova Tashler on first place, who were the top ice dance team here. Europeans could really be crucial for them. And I'm just like, oh man, oh man. I feel like Europeans ice dance is like so scary. I just can't talk about it at this point. Guillermo Fabry is scaring me. Like everyone's scaring me. Okay, man, we gotta get through these, you know what I mean? Okay, for Finland in the men's event, we had Walter Virtanen in first place, Uncle Doctor, who did try a quad toe with the under rotation in the free, but he didn't land it too well, unfortunately. And then the ice dance in Finland, ice dance is really Finland's strongest discipline. We all know them, we all love them. In second place, we had Orihara Purinen, the Funky Finns, as we call them. And then in first place, we had Turkey and Lewis, who are my favorite, maybe the more classical, more, unique, not unique, more classical, more let's follow the rules Finns compared to Orihara and Pyramid as the Funky Finns. But love them, both of them, love both of their teams. And they were quite close after the rhythm dance too, which is notable. But Turkey and Lewis did pull ahead after the free dance. In Estonia, we had Mikhail Selevko in the men's event winning over his brother, Alexander Selevko. Both of them are skaters that are like, kind of up and down. We saw Alexander Selevko get second at Europeans last season, which is a huge result for him. Mikhail Selevko, however, is having a really great season too. He won, I forgot what Challenger Series it was. It might have been Golden Spin as well. I can't remember. But Mikhail Selevko is really having his own really great season. I feel like either could be a spoiler for Europeans at this point. We will definitely see. In the women's event, we had, oh my gosh, one of my favorites, Eva Lotokivas in fifth place. She is on that injury comeback, and I miss her so much. She is such a strong skater, and I believe in her. Ever since the Olympics, I was like, Eva Lotokivas is so much fun. I feel like she's such a great skater. I hope she's really able to come back strong. In second place in the women's event, we had a junior skater, Elena Goidina, who has really made great strides on the junior level. And then in first place, we had Nina Petrokina, who won overall here. She also came back from some injury issues, like Evelita Kibos, but Nina Petrokina has had really good results. Last season she was third at Ski America, if you remember, which is a really great result for her. Europeans could be something for her too. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Europeans, people. Okay. Moving on to Germany in the men's event, Nikita Starostin, who is like one of my favorite, really fun skaters to watch, he won the men's title, and he also recently got German citizenship, which is great for him. And then in the pairs event, which is really, um, one of Germany's like strongest disciplines. We had Hasse Volodin winning here. Y- they won easily, but they did have multiple errors in both of their skates. The throw jumps and the side by side jumps were not in their favor at this competition. Hopefully, they are able to recover from that. It was quite a difference from some of their other performances this season. Like we saw at Grand Prix final was really good. What we saw Nebelhorn Trophy earlier this season was really good. Just not very uncharacteristic of them, but that's okay. Hopefully, this is just a fluke competition, and hopefully, they will get better scores, especially at Europeans. Moving on to Italy, beautiful, beautiful Italy. Always a fun country to watch out for. Maybe there'll be a spoiler for team events. I have no idea. In the men's event, I feel like men's in Italy is like so interesting to me. We had in fourth place Matteo Rizzo, unfortunately, with just downgrade issues. His quad loop is still not working as well as he would like. Matteo Rizzo, he's been medaling at Europeans. He was third last year at Europeans too. He is coming back from injury this season, but Matteo Rizzo is a skater I really do enjoy watching, and I feel like, oh, sorry, I feel like hopefully he's able to recover from injury. In third place is a skater from Italy who maybe hasn't been sent to a ton of international competitions, but compared to the other men, but are still really good. Gabriele Frangipani, who was fourth here in the short and then in third in the free to be third overall. He would like to be more consistent. That's his main issue compared to the other Italian men, that his consistency isn't as top notch as he would like, but I still think he is a really good skater, and I do think that um, we will see how he does. Yeah, and then in second place we had also of Italy, because this is the Italian national competition. Van Gogh, I don't know what I'm talking about. He's also from Italy, because this is Italy. Is Nikolai Momola, who was second in the short and then first in the free. Um, and then but second overall. He did fall on his combo in the short, or he was third in the short, sorry. But in the free skate he's been landing his quad lutz pretty good. Here his quad lutz got fours across the board, which just speaks to how quality it is. I know in the past he has received edge calls for it, but not here, it appears. And then first place in Italy was Daniel Grazel, who, he has been having a big comeback because of his whole kind of doping scandal behind the scenes that we still don't really know about. First place here for Daniel Grazel. A really clean short program really saved him, considering he had two falls in the free skate, but leading a pretty good season in his comeback here. Will he be returning to the European podium? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. But we will definitely see him at Europeans probably, and at Worlds. He was at Grand Prix final, right? And so it'll be interesting what he'll be able to deliver as we continue along this season. In the women's event in Italy, we had two skaters really important. Larinaki Gutmann was second here. She was first in the short, but then had errors in the free. Still having a really good season. She was third at Finlandia Trophy with those two really good performances. And then in first place here was Anna Pizzetta, who is eligible for senior events, but she does have more junior experience. It will be interesting to see who Italy will send where. I don't know where Italy will send where. She had a really good free skate here. Um, Anna Pizzetta, she doesn't have as much experience as Larinaki Gutmann. Who will Italy send to what competition? No idea, but we will definitely see. We will definitely see people. And I really like Larinaki Gutmann's free this season. Just saying, okay, just saying. I really like her free this season, and I would love to see it again. If I'm able to, I guess. Hopefully, we will. In the pairs event, we had in second place Giari and Brusini with the clean short. Unfortunately, falls on both of their throws, and the free skate brought them down. But in first place, we had Conti and Masi, who had two completely clean skates. Really great for them. Are they going to be the spoiler team for Europeans? I have no idea. They are looking pretty solid this season. They didn't win a medal at Grand Prix final, but still they could really be, I don't know, they could really be there. You know what I mean? They could really, really, really be there. And like I have no idea if they will be. Will they? I don't know. I have no idea. I think there's just a strong team. Were they fourth at Grand Prix final? Yeah, but in terms of European teams, they were third overall there. So we will definitely see what will happen with them. And then Iceland's Guillermo Fabry won because they're just my favorites, and I think they will win Europeans. Hopefully, please, please, please don't not win Europeans, right? Okay, in France here we had really notable results. Again, France is one of those nations growing in terms of how competitive it is. In the men's event, we had skaters from around the country, obviously in France. No Adam Fall here, who did withdraw because of injury. Unfortunately, he did withdraw from the Grand Prix final, so we knew he was going to withdraw from French nationals. But yeah, unfortunately, no Adam Fall here. But in third and second, we had Luke Economidis and Francois Pitot, respectively, who did, pretty well here. In first place, however, the result I really do want to mention is Kevin Amos, who last season French Nationals was a really unfortunate event for him. But this season, he really took that back. He didn't let it stop him. He had, not the best programs at all, but they were better programs than he's, had in quite a long time. And I'm really happy that Kevin Amos is kind of regaining some of his consistency back after unfortunate results kind of last season at what happened there. Yeah, last season was quite unfortunate, but this season is a whole lot better for Kevin Emos. In the women's event, we had Leah Serna, who has really been France's top senior woman. Second here with two decent skates, two really solid skates. She made an error in the short, but just a clean free really helped her gain second here. Hoping she can keep that consistency. I think Skate America was, not her favorite competition. I remember watching it live. I was like, no, Leah, no. But I really hope that she can keep her consistency this season and do really well at Europeans, top 10 perhaps, really well. In first place, we had the junior skater Stefania Gladk, who I believe is only 14, and winning your senior title at 14 when you're just a junior skater is quite impressive. In the pairs event, the Kovalevs won. Hopefully, they will not be sick slash injured for Europeans. I really do like their skating. I feel like we haven't seen them a whole lot because of injury, but I feel like they can get the consistency down. They can get a good result at Europeans, especially. And in ice dance, we had what might be the saddest result for me this whole episode is that in fourth place we had Dupayej Nebe because they're my favorite French ice dance team, and like fourth, like what happened? Joe Ewise is just not the strongest, and I'm just like, oh, like I just think they're so good. I love their skating so much. I feel like they deserve better. In third place, we had the team of Le Gouge Caffa. And second was Demongo and Le Messier. And then in first place was Loboreva and Brissot, who have really dominated this season. Europeans will be quite interesting for Loboreva Brissot, what they're able to do there. And even at Worlds, I'm sure they're gonna earn probably 2 Iceland spots for France. Maybe I don't know. I feel like 2 Iceland spots probably for France is what Loboda Brissot are gonna earn, and we'll see which French Iceland teams will get it. And I really hope it's Dupayej Nabe because they're so fun. I really love their skating, and they just deserve better. They just deserve so much better, and I just think they're amazing. Um, what are we talking about? Okay, yeah, that was France. Okay, and lastly, we got to talk about Japan. I know it's been a lot of talking. I'm sorry. Japan is like the real beast we were all waiting for. Japan is like the strongest country ever right now, and it's just being like, yikes, yikes, Japan. Okay, because this competition was a bit of a mess, but that's okay. In the men's event, yeah, the men's event was quite a mess for Japan. We had a lot of top men here who were, maybe predicted to win, predicted to the medal, and just like yikes. In 10th place, we had Sota Yamamoto of Japan, who fell on a triple axel in the short, and then had 3 falls, unfortunately, in his free skate, which really brought him down. But literally, so Yamamoto has been a skater who's, been to the Grand Prix final. He's medaled at the Grand Prix final before. He's been really solid and he's been competing for a long time. Just these two performances were just not his best quality. He had fourth at both his Grand Prix earlier this season with, really good scores. Here at Japanese Nationals, just not the best event for him like it was for a lot of men. In ninth place, it was Koshiro Shimada, who was 15th in the short with two falls. Then he was fifth in the free with a fall and a wild under rotated quad lutz attempt. Like, I just can't explain this. Again, Koshiro Shimada is another skater who's achieved really good results in the past, and here's just uncharacteristic mistakes, unfortunately. That just like, what happened? Like, oh my gosh, what happened? He was even second at Grand Prix de France this season. It's like, hello, like what happened, Japan? I don't know. The ice was no icing. Eighth place was Kao Miura, another skater who, again, has had super good results this season. Um, yeah, he's been in the Grand Prix final, he's been to Worlds, he's been to this, he's been to that. He was third at one of his Grand Prix this season, and still, again, not the most consistent. He was fourth in the short, ninth in the free to fall to eighth overall. Just pops in the free kind of let him down, which is unfortunate. Shun Sato here was seventh, even though he was third at the Grand Prix final with mistakes in both of his programs. A downgrade and a fall on both of his quad lutz attempts, and both the short and the free was really the main thing. And like, I just don't know because Shintatsu, again, really competitive skater, just not good results here, unfortunately. In sixth place, we had a skater, Sena Miyake, who has had up and down results in the past, who was sixth here, 11th in the short with slight stumbles on his jumps, and then a fourth place free to be sixth overall. Like, oh my god. I don't know. Fifth place was this makes me bad because Kazuki Tomono is one of my favorite Japanese men. He was fifth here. He was third in the short, which is a slight triple axel error, and then eighth in the free with mistakes on downgrades of two of his quad attempts. Unfortunately, it's just like no Kazuki Tomono, but I'm hoping he'll be set to four continents at least because I think he deserves that. He's just too good. And then in fourth place at the age of 37, which is absolutely amazing, we had Nobunari Oda, who had a clean short program with a quad toe, mistakes in the free skate, but still fourth place at the age of 37. This is his comeback. He was competing, I think he competed at the 2010 Olympics, I think, and he's obviously coming back now in 2025, which is cray cray, but, yeah, he competed at the 2010 Olympics, and, but then he's retired now, I guess. After the competition, he retired permanently after getting a fourth place finish at nationals at the age of 37 is crazy. But I'm hoping that he'll have a really good retirement now. I know he's like come back a couple of times now, and like it's been a thing. But I don't know if he's like retired, or he'll come back in like 10 years and be like, "Hey, I'm 47, but I'm still got it." Okay. In third place was like, what? In third place, we had Tetsuya Suboi, who was 14th in the short program with a lot of mistakes. And in third place in the free for third overall. Like, what the Adam Shaham is going on? Like, why he had a mostly clean skate. Everything looked good. The short was a bit of a disaster, honestly. Unfortunately, with a mistake on the quad sal and then a pop triple axle into a single axle. But a third place free got him the third overall because I don't know. And then Ryo Nakata in second place, who was a junior skater internationally, but clean overall, great for him and Japan's future. Really good results. Yuma Kageyama was first here. He is really the top Japanese man right now. He did fall on a downgraded triple axle in the short program, but he had a mostly clean free to be first overall still. He was first in both programs, but just had a few mistakes here and there. Again, like, what was going on with Japanese ice, man? Like, I can't explain what happened in the Japanese ice, but something happened in the men's event, and kind of something happened in the women's event too. Let's talk about the women's event. The women's event was, Japanese women it is the most competitive discipline, I feel like, in all of figure skating right now. There's no country and no discipline more competitive than Japanese women. I want to talk about Mai Mihara, who unfortunately, she was my program of the week too. This is so bad. So sad, so bad, so sad. Mai Mihara, she was 23rd place in the short with 2 mistakes, and then she withdrew because of injury, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, please, Mai Mihara, please don't be seriously injured, please." Yeah. In 12th place here, one of my favorite Japanese women, Yuna Aoki, who had a really great 6th place short program, but an unfortunate 14th place free with pops and under rotations. There's news apparently that she is retiring now, and I'm just like, no, like you can't retire when I just found you. You know what I mean? Like I just found you last season. I love your skating, but yeah, she is unfortunately retiring. She was third at NHK Trophy, which is really good. In 11th place here, we had Hannah Yoshida, who literally went to Grand Prix final, right? And she's 11th. Like, I don't know Japanese ice. Like, I don't know. You know, she was 11th here with just under rotations that really brought her down. But earlier this season, she really did have a lot of, major success. I believe here she did try to do her triple axel again, but unfortunately under rotated it again. Yeah, she did a quarter call on it here, unfortunately. And then in 8th place, we have Ryan Sumiyoshi, another great skater with so many good results this season, who was 8th here with, again, under rotations that kind of brought her down. She did not try a quad toe in this event, but we have seen that in the past from her, and we will maybe see that again. I don't know. It's like I can't speak anymore. I'm just like, huh, huh. Yeah, and then 7th place we had Rina Matsuke, and not Rina Matsuke, sorry, Rinka Watanabe, sorry. We had Rinka Watanabe 7th place with a couple of under-rotation mistakes. Did land a beautiful triple axel for the first time this season. I saw it on Reddit. It was like, whoa, Rinka, like, good job. Rinka Watanabe, first triple axel this season from her. Really good. Oh, sorry, I'm so tired. In 6th place here, we got Mako Yamashita, who has had no international results this season, but domestically she's been okay. And then Japanese Nationals has really been a good competition for her. Last year, I believe she was second in the short and then dropped down, I think, top 10 too in the free. But I'm hoping that they will send her out more for Mako Yamashita. I hope they will send her to at least one international competition because, you know, maybe she isn't the most consistent, but she's shown that she can have mostly clean free skate, which is really great for her. Okay, now in 5th place is Rina Matsuke, who is, my find this season, the skater that I've really fallen in love with this season is Rina Matsuke, who was 5th year after 17th last year. 5th year, she did have a couple of undertations. She did pop, double, triple style into double style, but like, who cares? Like, I hope that she has so much more success at Fort Continents, especially. Rina Matsuke is such a special skater with her free skate this season. I just love it so much. And 4th year, we had Monet Chiba, who had a really good short program here for Money Chiba. She was 3rd in the short program with a clean skate. Kind of an uncharacteristic free skate after we've seen this season. She did have a few under rotation this season. She has fallen on the triple sal. Mostly the season before this competition, she was mostly consistent and she was getting around like 208s, 209s, around that score. Here, unfortunately, she did not have that, unfortunately, with the mistakes with the rotations that she made, but it's okay. It's okay, Monichi, because she is still a very dependable skater. I feel like it's what Japan needs to see, that Monichiba is really dependable, is I think the important part. In 4th place, not in 4th place, in 3rd place we had Wakaba Higuchi because she's amazing. I think Wakaba Higuchi is like on like the ultimate comeback journey, as I said before. She really won 3rd place here based on just having less under rotations than the other skaters. She did have under rotations, they were just less severe than the other skaters had. But really good. No pops except one pop of a triple style into double. What is going on with the style cows? I don't know. She did pop a triple style into double style, but OMG Wakaba, you go, you go, you go, in 2nd place, we have Mao Shimada, who, if you have not been following on the junior level, Mao Shimada is like been the junior skater to watch out for the past couple seasons. She has both a triple axel and a quad toe that unfortunately weren't successful, but it is definitely okay. But she's a really impressive skater who has that ability to do those elements. And then, rounding out the skater tier, and first we had Kairi Sakamoto, clean short, relatively clean free skate. I feel like Japanese Nationals is where Kairi Sakamoto builds up her momentum for the rest of the season. Very successful rest of the season, hopefully, and we will see there. And then pairs and ice dance. I want to mention this for Japan because Japan has really developed their pairs and ice dance programs in the last couple of seasons. For the pairs event, we had Nagaoka and Moriguchi being a very good senior team. We've seen them before at a couple other events this season that they've done pretty well at. Really good for them. And then in first place, we had Miura and Kihara, who had a very easy victory. They weren't clean on their side by side jumps, but very good elsewhere for Miura and Kihara. Um, really great to see them. Will they be challenging worlds? I feel like they are one of the main podium you know, potentials for world champions again. I don't know. I don't know. Paris is scary. And then in ice dance, we love Japan getting their ice dance teams. Second place here for Tanaka and Nishiyama. Um, not too far behind in the free dance. Was kind of a few points behind in the no, in the rhythm dance, not the short dance anymore. In the rhythm dance for Tanaka and Nishiyama, it's still really good. And then for the first place team was Yoshida and Morita, who have really been Japan's top ice dance team for this season, and I'm really hoping that they will be able to continue that at Four Continents and at Worlds, that they hopefully can qualify a spot for Japan in ice dance. They did not go to World last season, but they will be going to World this season, and hopefully they can compete for a spot for Japanese ice dance. Okay, that was all the ice dance things and all the crazy thingamajiggies. Hopefully you guys are not traumatized by me talking for 50 minutes. I hope you guys have a great week. I don't know. But anyway, my name is Ango. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for listening to episode 48 of the Teen Talks Game podcast. My name is Mango. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you enjoy listening to me rant about every country's nationals, basically. Next week, we'll have our first episode in the year 2025, and we'll definitely see what it will be. I still have not made up my mind. It'll probably be a video essay, not gonna lie. We'll see. We'll see what we'll do. We'll see what we do. Okay? Okay. I will see you next week then. Bye bye.